Media is now streaming live. Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
It says it's
Says it.
setting up still.
Really? Well, it tells me that the meeting is streaming live on the Book of Faces.
On the Book of Faces.
Let's see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, I think we're live now. I have it on our Facebook, on your Facebook, that we're live. Hey, look, I see us now on your Facebook. It happened.
Well,
We
coolio.
did it.
We are something else. It does say live on Facebook.
It does.
Wow. Woof. Too bad I'm not the administrator, so I can't be in charge of this. I can't see anybody's responses
It's me.
unless
I
you
can
share
see
the
everything.
screen.
Well, if I
We
share
don't
the
have to do
screen,
that.
then everyone else
Then
can see that
everyone
I've
else
shared
can
the
see it.
screen.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they don't need
What
to
about
see
us? We're like high-tech rednecks.
high-tech rednecks, and my sound thing is falling off the
Well,
wall, but
stop
it's
it and fix
fine.
it. Stop it and fix it.
It's just going to continue to fall off the wall.
It's all
Not a
right,
big
but it
deal.
looked cool because it was Doctor Who in the background where I just
did.
have a dresser. I hope there's like nothing. Let me do this.
Okay. I mean, they
Are we
could have already
ready?
seen. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm ready. Are
Is
you going to
anybody
tell everyone
watching?
what we're doing?
I am. So if you're just, we are, if you're tuning in, Hannah and I are attempting to do something there it fell. Great.
Did
It
it?
fell. Yes.
I told you it would.
We have, we have recorded Facebook Live before, but that's been in person. We are Zooming
Mhm.
and Facebook Living. So we're going to record episode 15.
Woo!
Woohoo! I can't believe it's been 15 episodes,
God.
but we're going to record what?
I'm just going to say that we're cool. That's it.
Yeah, we are cool. So we're going to attempt to do this. Hopefully it records and
I am
then
recording.
all right, well, we're recording one way or another.
Yeah.
So we're going to get started. We are
Okay.
Hannah's going to give the go sign and then we go.
Okay,
Look at
Dad,
that.
go sign.
Although, wait a minute.
Oh,
She
shoot.
says
okay.
I look like Data.
Don't you look, you do. You look like, all you need is like a couple dots, and it's one of the it's one of the older ones. Like like not one
seen
of
that
the ones
video?
from the older. No.
Okay, we'll talk about it when we get started.
Okay.
All right, tell me when you're ready.
Go ahead.
Well, welcome interwebs and the folks on the Books of Live to episode 15 of Sis and Big Pop's Culture.
Woo!
I am Big Pop, aka Todd Turner, also known as Mosaic Fan Art to all you artsy people out there. And as ever, my host is
I am Hannah Jo, aka Sis, and together we are a father and adult daughter duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom, each episode with a family-friendly twist.
That's right, and we are streaming live on Facebook currently. We think
No, no, we are. I'm looking
we
at it.
are, but Hannah's on my Facebook, so I can't see anything. But anyway, but that's not
We
what it's
figured
about.
it
It's
out,
about
Dad.
all you people out in the interweb.
Yes,
Catching up
welcome.
on what we've got. So what are we hitting? What's going on today, Hannah?
We're hitting a lot of things as usual. As always, starting out with our news, we have some fun, a lot of film news, I would guess, today. And then
I got some other
Dad,
stuff too.
You got some other stuff too? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Dad I saw you posted on your Instagram. I haven't spoken to you about this, but I saw on
Yes.
the socials that you have a vast array of different comics to talk about with us today for your pull list. We also are going to talk about what we're binging as usual, and then we have
We read a comic.
we have a super
Series.
filled
The
super
super filled
filled
end.
in
And you can
to
listen
our-
in because we are not going to spoil anything to do with WandaVision because
I haven't watched it.
I
didn't
watched
know
them
you
both.
you didn't tell me to watch it.
I can't believe your mom said she would watch it with me, so we sat and we
You're-
watched it together.
what?
And she liked it. She enjoyed it.
What?
Mhm.
Okay. Shoot. Okay. I will watch it and we can talk about it next week.
All right, good deal. Well, let's
Okay,
jump into news. So the news, first thing I've got here is they announced a villain for the Moon Knight TV show,
Oh, yeah?
played by Ethan Hawke, who we love because he was in Gattaca, which is a film that Hannah
Yes. I love Gattaca.
So I thought, hey, let's review Gattaca for next week. But you have to have an add-on for Stars because it isn't available on anything
Really?
unless you watch it illegally or
Could
buy
we-
it or rent
could-
it.
Family Video is going out of business.
Oh, that's sad.
I didn't. That's a
explain
sad
that.
piece of news. So, Family Video is a old school renting.
Like a Blockbuster type deal thing, but local.
Yes. local. I mean, not just
Well,
local, because they have them in Indiana and they have them in Bowling Green. So it's
right.
like national in the states in
Yeah.
the north, like the, I don't, what is it
Whatever.
called? I
Whatever
don't,
we are. But they
anyways,
always have a pizza place next door.
they always have a pizza place next door. It's
It's
always a
awesome.
Little Caesars
Movie
or
and
a
pizza.
Marco's.
That's
And it's
hilarious.
always next door, which I mean is perfect for us because Turner family
Pizza
tradition.
night,
Anytime we had pizza night every Friday night, we'd sit on the pizza rug, and then the
which
pizza
was a
rug. For
blanket.
those of you who are curious, we thought that this huge tradition. It was like, oh, we have the pizza rug. Nah, the pizza rug was a rank old blanket
Oh,
that
no,
they
no, no, no.
laid
Listen,
out.
if you were in Campbell County High School marching band for 4 years, they gave you a wool blanket. Your mom and I both got one, and it became the pizza rug.
And
So
but I always thought there was like this tradition, and it's just
where
like
there was a tradition
it's
now.
just magic about
Now
this
it's
pizza
nasty.
rug.
And it's wool. I
And
don't even know if we still have it.
it was just a way for you all to protect the carpet from
Of
our
course
pizza
it was.
stains.
You
I didn't
nasties.
know that.
Oh, you thought it was like a magic carpet?
I thought this was just like, this is just what we do. This is so cool. We get to sit on the carpet. Anyways, so we could go get family video.
I don't know
Magic
the
carpet
word.
ride.
Thank
You
you.
don't have a family video, but I have a family video, and I could get the family video and watch
Yeah.
Gattaca.
Not going to.
Okay.
Anyway, Ethan Hawke's going to be a villain in the Moon Knight. I thought that was interesting. Yeah. What else you got?
Okay, so one of our fave movies from our childhood is Enchanted, just because
Yes.
it does all of our favorite things.
Because it's awesome.
Right? Because it's like a musical, but it's not a musical, and Amy Adams is phenomenal, and it's just like, it was the perfect mix of
And
this is for girls and this is for boys.
and Dina Menzel, but what's her name? What's her real name?
No, her real name is
I know,
Adina
but what did
Menzel.
what's her face call him? What did
Adele
what's his face-
Dazeem.
Adele Dazeem's in it.
Adele Dazeem. Adele Dazeem is in it.
Susan
so
Sarandon was the villain.
should I know who she is?
Yes. But we'll just keep going.
Okay, sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry about that.
She was the evil witch stepmother.
I know, but like I didn't know her
No,
name.
she's really popular.
Okay.
Thelma and Louise,
Okay.
which
Okay.
you've never seen.
Which I've never seen.
Yeah, it's okay. Anyway.
Anyways, they're filming that. They're starting to film it
heard.
this spring. And
Yes.
all of the peoples are back. Patrick
Even-
Dempsey's even back.
Even the girl who played his daughter, it was 14 years ago. She's got to be what, 20 now? Close.
I mean, yeah, at least.
So,
She wasn't that young.
I think the issue is that she's now been there for 14 years and she's been married or whatever, and she's disenchanted with it. So, but I'm sure there'll be some reconciliation.
Probably Adele Dazeem as well.
Probably. I wonder if she's in it. I didn't see that. I'll have to
Oh,
look
I'll
that
Google
up.
it. I'll Google it while you tell us the next thing.
So, yeah, did you know, we had talked to this about the guy who played Cyborg, his issues with DC, the management of DC saying it was, well, he's gone. He's out.
Really?
He is out of the Flash movie. He has severed ties with DC. I don't know if that was mutual or if they just said take a hike, but Ray Fisher is gone. So Ray Fisher's gone, and who else might be coming back for Marvel
Oh yeah, I saw this on
on the Twitters?
on Twitter and on TikTok. They were talking about it on TikTok. Some people had a lot of big feelings about it.
TikTok.
But Dad, TikTok is
It's
phenomenal.
okay. It
Chris
not
Evans is
phenomenal.
coming back, and he
Well-
is coming back as Captain America. And so
Is he
my
coming
thought
back?
is my thought is that it's going to be like a cameo or like a prologue-esque thing.
I wonder
Like,
if
I
it's going
don't
to do
think
something
he's
like
coming
that.
back. Coming back.
Like that what is it?
Like
The
those
multiverse
videos.
type deal thingy.
Oh
where,
yeah.
You know, I was wondering if that might be something like that.
Or it could
Who
be
knows?
like those. Do you remember in Spider-Man where it was Captain America was given all of the high school students a talking to about like in
That's
gym
right.
class? Like I wonder
Yes.
if it's like something like
That's
that.
funny. It could be. Who
And like I
knows?
think I don't think it's gonna be like a Captain
But he
America
basically
movie.
he basically trolled them all on his Twitter. He was like, I don't know. So, but I think he's notorious for that. I saw where HBO dropped a sizzle reel for what everything that's going to be all the movies that are going to be coming out, and they've moved Godzilla versus King Kong up to March.
Ooh, dope.
So I liked the King Kong movie.
We both did. We saw it
But
together.
I wasn't that crazy on
The
the
newest
Godzilla
Godzilla.
movie. Yeah.
The newest
It was
Godzilla
so
movie was
dark.
weird. It was
It was
just
just
weird. Like
I
it
can't
physically was
okay.
hard to see sometimes.
Well, I can't see anyway, right?
Yeah, Daddy. Yeah,
I
you can. Yeah,
I have a genetic eye disease and yes. So I literally have to have stuff it's either got to be super bright or if it's too bright, I have to wear sunglasses. It's crazy. Anyway, I couldn't see what
it
was
was
going
hard. It
on
was
in it.
hard for even. I don't have your genetic eye disease that we know of,
Hallelujah. You do have a
and
50% chance.
that's why I said that we know of, and I couldn't see it either. Oh shoot! What?
I just thought of something else. I forgot to
What?
write it down in my notes.
What?
Netflix has picked up Matilda the Musical.
What?
And Emma
Matilda's a good
Tompkins,
musical.
I know Thompson
Nanny McPhee.
is the
Nanny McPhee.
head mistress or whatever.
Mrs. Honey.
Turnball.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh
No, I can't remember who the
no.
girl was. It's Mrs. Honey. I can't remember. I saw who it was, but yeah. So I was like, that would be funny. So then I had that song stuck in my head. Do 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 do. Because of the TV
Yes,
show.
because
Where,
the movie.
yeah, the movie. I meant movie. I
Yeah,
said
the
TV show,
movie.
but the movie.
Well, the
Yeah.
musical is supposedly really good.
Well, that's awesome. I can't wait. Yeah. You got anything else?
I'm trying to think.
Well, I have
No.
something for you if you don't.
Bring it on, Dad.
So, some dude in Minecraft has created the entire Among Us thing in his Minecraft world.
He's created the starship, like the
Yes,
ship that
the
they're on.
Skeld, what's it called? Skeld?
I don't know. I've never played Among Us. I don't know.
Me either. I got on there and tried to do the tutorial and I couldn't even walk to open something and I was like, not gonna do it. So I gave up. I'm an old guy,
That's
old
funny.
farts. Although I do have friends who are my age that really enjoy it. They actually get on Discord and go and they meet and they play one another.
It's fun.
And I'm 52, almost 53, and I know what Discord is.
Yeah, you do, Dad. Who
In
are
my-
you? Oh,
Data.
I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause our talk. Dad is currently in a sweater where the bottom half of his sweater, not even the bottom half, the bottom like 4/5
2/3.
of his
4/5
of his sweater is black, and the top part is like a gold brown. And I saw him, and I was like, Dad, you look like Commander Data from
I'm not
Star
Data.
Trek.
I'm Lore. I'm not Lore. I would be Data.
So Dad's wearing a Star Trek uniform shirt, and I'm
It's
wearing
not a uniform shirt. It was a sweater. I thought, geez, I could wear a hoodie to church, but I know your mom would like me to look nice, so I wore a sweater, even thinking that I look like I'm from Star Trek.
If I
But
got you a
I
Star
claim it.
Trek brooch and a couple dots, you could just cosplay. You could just put on black pants and just go.
I should do that.
You should do that.
BTW, I just found out that the Lexington Comic Convention, which was supposed to take place in March, isn't going to happen. So then they were going to
Really?
push it to June. That's not going to happen. So now it is set for, I think, the second weekend of September, which I
Okay.
think would happen.
I'm down.
And I'm going to be there
I'm
with
with
my
you, Dad.
three dark circles on this
Well,
sweater.
one of them has to be. Two of them have to be filled in, and one of them isn't.
All right, you would
So we'll
know
get
that. I
you.
can't
We'll
believe
get
I
you
know.
those pins. We'll get
Yes.
you those pins. I am wearing, Dad. Guess what I'm wearing?
You're wearing a sweater you made.
I knitted this with my hands.
Oh,
Okay, that's it. That's all I had to say.
that's all you had to say.
I'm just really
so
proud of myself.
listen, even though you didn't watch WandaVision, I wanted you to know that you can buy their wedding rings. They're available.
Really? What
Mhm.
on?
I don't have that information available.
Like,
Just
is it
Google.
on some
I want to buy Wanda's and Vision's wedding rings,
like?
and I can't believe my daughter hasn't watched the show yet. If you can't see because it's an
Auditory
audio
medium.
auditory medium, I'm acting like I'm typing on my computer board. Yeah.
On your computer board.
Oh, I'm 50 something years old. That's what we call them, computer boards.
On your
Anyway,
computer board, you're full
let's hop
of
in.
it.
That's about all the nerd news I've got. I'm sure there's more stuff there.
You're
And
funny.
an animator for Disney passed away.
Really?
Like a huge guy named Dale Bear. He was 70, but apparently he was like really big in animation. He actually did Uzma.
Yzma?
from the girl from Emperor's New Groove.
Yzma.
Yeah, that one. Well,
Uzma?
it started with a vowel.
It's Yzma.
Okay, Yzma, whatever. And
Yzma.
the last one he worked on was The Princess and the Frog. So,
Aw.
but yeah,
Princess
so
and the Frog bops.
it's really good. I
It did
like
not get enough
Tiana.
clout.
It didn't. Well, I think that's because a lot of people were afraid of the voodoo aspect of the movie.
I read Creativity Inc., which is
I don't know what
the
that is.
business book that Ed Catmull created.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
He's a big shot in Disney, like in Disney
Okay.
animation.
Gotcha.
He's in charge of Disney animation as a whole, and then John Lasseter is like it is one step under him. Like, you know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
I know who Lasseter is.
And they he talked about how one of their problems with Princess and the Frog is that they titled it Princess and the Frog. So after they did Princess and the Frog, they did Tangled, which is Rapunzel, but they didn't call it Rapunzel because calling it princess makes little boys think that little boys.
Gotcha.
I mean, I did air quotes. You can like whatever you like and whatever gender you are.
I
You
understand.
can do whatever you
Whatever.
want.
Right. But
And
they were doing for marketing reasons.
for marketing reasons, since then, they
My
haven't
forehead
had
is so big.
a princess in the title of any of their movies.
Well, I'll
Even
tell you
though
what they could
Frozen
have
is
done.
about a princess and a queen, and
Here's the
Rapunzel's
deal.
about a princess. Tangled is about a princess. Isn't that cool?
There is a movie that Disney should have went with princess in the title that they didn't.
What?
The Princess of Mars.
Oh, yeah.
Instead
John
of calling
Carter
it
was
John
bad.
Carter. No, it
That
was not.
dumb.
John Carter movie was good.
That movie, no, we went and saw that movie in Winchester. That movie bopped.
I love that movie, but
I'm here
the
for it.
marketing was terrible.
Yeah, they did not hype that up enough.
Like, who's John Carter? That's what you know.
John Carter
Or
of
Edgar
Mars.
Rice Burroughs, the same guy that did
Yeah,
Tarzan.
like Edge of Tomorrow should have just been called Live, Die, Repeat.
Exactly. They learn from.
And now
mistakes.
if you get there, I have the DVD right here, and if you get the DVD, it says Edge of Tomorrow really tiny, and then
Yes.
huge words it says Live, Die, Repeat.
Well, the rest of my
Like, we
nerd
can't change it,
news
but we did.
dealt with Wanda and Vision, and I'm just gonna slide it over.
Oh, Dad, I'm so sorry.
But if anybody wants a heads up on Wanda and Vision's relationship, you can go check out our first episode. We talk about WandaVision. Oh,
do.
and Robin Hood, which was the first movie that the guy that just passed away worked on.
Really?
Yep. So there you go. Oodle lolly, golly what a day.
Oodalolly!
What are you watching right now on TV? What's your binge worthiness?
Guess.
Big Bang Theory still.
Yeah. I'm
All
on
right.
it still. So again, I knit things, and so I'm in the middle of knitting an Afghan. I'm halfway through knitting all of the blocks for my Afghan,
you.
Dad. Isn't that awesome?
That is awesome. So
is.
that allows you to get how much Big Bang Theory in?
Shoot, I'm on I'm finished with season 7. It's getting ready to
How many
start
seasons
season 8.
are there?
12.
So you're into it then. So would you suggest people get into it?
I'm enjoying it. It's like some of the jokes are a little dated. Some of the like mannerisms and the way that they act. It's definitely PG-13,
Gotcha. I
TV
figured.
14.
Well, it's people living together, so
I mean, yeah. So I mean, I'm really enjoying it. I watched Into the Woods yesterday.
did you do that because Nathan just told us the news that he's going to be the wolf?
No, but I did watch it and it was so good.
Yes.
I
The
talked about
movie?
Nathan the entire time. Yeah, I watched the movie. It's on Disney
Gotcha.
Plus.
Oh, okay.
Into
Yeah.
the woods and out of the woods.
I just
very
remember
good.
I've not watched it.
Well, you watched Miriam was in the junior play.
Yeah, our middle daughter was in a play.
Your middle
in
daughter, my younger sister.
Your sister, yeah, when she was in middle school, we watched the Into the
It was
Woods,
good.
which I liked it.
She was a
It was an
golden
interesting, and I've seen the
goose.
movie. I saw the movie. I haven't rewatched it. That was pretty much James Corden before he had his big TV show, or right as it was starting, right after he was on the 2 episodes of Doctor Who. I know he was famous in England, but he wasn't very famous
he hadn't popped
across
here
the
yet.
pond. Across the pond. We hadn't heard of him over here across the pond.
Funny.
But
I'm
As
gonna
much as I-
watch. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
if you have never watched the Doctor Who episodes with James Corden in them,
So good.
fabulous. It's
And you
Matt
can
Smith
watch
as the
that
Doctor and not even know
And
anything
not
about
know about anything about Doctor Who. Like if you
Exactly.
are
It's
just
sort of like a good
Blink.
jump on, like Blink. Yeah. Although
We have
Blink is scary.
we have a couple. Anytime Dad is like, "You would love Doctor Who," and people are like, "No, I don't want to watch Doctor Who." Dad's like, "Watch this episode," and it's the Don't Blink episode with David Tennant and Martha,
Yes.
with
And
Tin
they're
and
barely in
Martha.
it.
And they're
Yeah.
they're barely in it. It's Carrie. What's her
It's
Carrie?
Sparrow and Nightingale or whatever.
Carrie, the
I don't know.
actress. She
I
was
don't know.
in.
Don't
She
know
was
clue.
in Great Gatsby.
Oh, well, you love Great Gatsby. So
I'm
that
here for
makes you
Great
good
Gatsby.
know.
Great Gatsby's now in public domain.
Oh, really? Could we get music from the Great Gatsby and have it in as our background because we don't have any music?
Maybe.
Anyway, I'm watching Dune again.
Are you
I can't-
still?
Again, it's terrible.
I'll just copy and paste what I wrote last time.
Yeah, exactly. Dune again. I'm not really binging anything. I did watch the 2 episodes of WandaVision,
Okay.
which I'm afraid that people who aren't like people who want like action and stuff, I hope they hang around because the first 2 episodes, this is spoiler free, it's pretty well known. They mimic like an old TV show,
And
but
it
that's
comes
nothing
up.
new. Yes.
It goes forward each episode. It seems like goes forward a decade.
In time, a decade,
some-
yes.
yeah.
So, right. So the like the first episode was like a
I love Lucy.
I don't know, like a yeah, yes. And then the next episode was like Bewitched.
Mhm.
And there, the thing about it is that it is like a sitcom like that, and you have to appreciate that type of humor. And then there's moments when you're like, oh, there's something not right here, something's going on, and that's the some of the people that I've talked to and we've corresponded on the interwebs have been like, my wife loved it. There's a lot of people are saying that, and people who are like single dudes are like, I don't know if I'm going to hang on to this unless they're like diehard into the comic book stuff, because I have a feeling is going to really break into the next phase of Marvel movies.
What I saw, Gabe, my sweet friend, was posting about it. He is diehard into all Marvel stuff and stuff like that. And he mentioned that Winter Soldier and Falcon were supposed to come out before. The original slate was that Winter Soldier and Falcon came out first, and then WandaVision came out next.
I hadn't heard that. I mean, because we had been talking about WandaVision before we talked about the Winter Soldier thing. Who knows?
I don't know.
The cool
I'm
thing
shrugging.
is, in
Big
the
shrug.
middle of the show, there are commercials.
That's so fun.
But they're commercials that you really got to watch because they're
I've heard that there's a lot of like bloopers, not bloopers, but a lot of like Easter eggs.
Easter eggs, yes.
And I didn't know this. I got spoiled about this on TikTok, and so I'm hiding from TikTok in the moment.
Don't spoil it because we're not doing spoilers.
That the intro is animated.
One intro is, yes.
Yeah.
And if you look,
That there's a lot of
hard
Easter
enough,
eggs in it.
you can see, I'm telling you have to look because you can see Vision's half brother, a silhouette. Okay, do you remember we talked about
Yes, that guy.
the Grim
The
Reaper?
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Wonder Man and Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
There's the silhouette of the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, because he's fighting
funny-
Ultron
that
in his
thing.
head or something.
Yeah. So
And the needle, he's like, oh yes, I would use as my doctor.
now you're talking about Thor.
I would use my hammer to put the
so-
needle in his skin.
If you want to read a more up-to-date Vision type comic book, there is a miniseries, a 12-issue miniseries written by Tom King
Cool.
called Vision 1 through 12, where he literally creates his own family. They live at the
don't like that.
same address that they live on in the TV show, and everything's cool until a human turns up dead, and they get blamed for killing the human. So, yeah, that's an interesting thing. Interesting. That's all I got for binging because I'm not really binging.
Okay.
You know, that's it. I've been in the basement and I flip on Dune and I play Dune on repeat. So I'm ready for the new movie.
Funny.
Anywho, yeah. All right. So let's get into the comic books.
Let's. Do you want to talk about the comic book we read or your pull list?
No, we'll do that last.
Okay, Dad, what's a pull list?
So for those of you who don't know, a pull list is if you have a local comic shop, an LCS is what we call them.
Oh my goodness, there's an
Yeah,
acronym.
I
Is that
didn't
an
know.
acronym?
It is LCS, local comic shop.
That's
If you
funny.
have one and you really want to make sure you get the books you want, you write down a list that you want, you keep it on file with your local comic shop, and they pull them out from their inventory before they put them on the shelf. So that is your pull list. So I have all of the we talked briefly about this last week, DC Future State.
We talked about, and you really are liking the Wonder Woman so far on that one.
So I got I got several new books this week. The only ones that I think are really worth talking about,
Okay.
Teen Titans.
Go.
You get to see a new Nightwing at the end of it. Look pretty cool.
That's Robin?
Yeah, the original Robin. Mm-hmm. However, the newer Robin, that's another one that I kept. It's called Robin Eternal. And
cool.
At the end, he gets doused with something from the Lazarus pit, which is what they use to bring people back. Like Ra's al Ghul uses the Lazarus pit. So now this is called Robin Eternal. So we're guessing.
Is he going to be a zombie?
I don't know. I don't think he can die, but we'll find out.
But is he?
Okay.
Oh, that's not good.
So basically what happened at the end of Dark Knight's Death Metal, which was a series that went throughout the year, at the very end, Wonder Woman defeats the dark evil Batman. She has to give up. I think she gives up her life. Things come back different. People who were dead are now not dead anymore, but the world is reformed and there are alternate realities. So and this is what we're talking about, DC Future State. These are the stories that happen out of this in the future. One of them is a Swamp Thing book where there are no humans. We don't know what's happened to the humans. Swamp Thing is trying to find human, and all the creatures are plant creatures. Yes.
Ooh.
So what happens is at the end of the first issue is that they find a human, and they find out that there's a human stronghold up north, and they're trying to do something bad. And
defeat the plant humans.
Well, I think it's being led by a guy named the Floronic Man, which was like a human that got in. He's like part human, part plant. He wants to be all plant, but the green rejected him. Anyway, back in the 80s, when the Swamp Thing became a huge horror magazine and super popular with the writer Alan Moore, they started it. That like issue 19 was the Swamp Thing and the Floronic Man. And it ended up that the Swamp Thing defeated the Floronic Man, and the Floronic Man was rejected. I think he's the character who's trying to do this to get rid of the Swamp Thing. It's
interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so the story that I liked best this week was in the Green Lantern book. Now, a lot of these stories will have a preliminary story, and then they'll have maybe one or two little backstories. So,
do you mean like there's a main plot line and there are little plot lines, or do you mean that there
are
three books
stories
in one book?
Exactly. There's one main book that is not finished that carries on to the next,
and then a little story that starts and ends.
Yes.
Oh, that's really cool. That's like a lot of bang for your buck or something.
Well, good, because this book was $6.
Yikes.
Yeah. But at the end of this, the last story was Guy Gardner, which we're going to talk about. He's in the Death of Superman book.
Oh shoot! The Green Lantern,
but he's not the Green Lantern.
But he's not, because he got kicked out of the
Green Lantern Corps.
Oh, but funny.
He lands on this. He lands on this planet. There's two opposing groups that are fighting against one another because there's an artifact that's landed between their land, and they're going to fight each other. So Guy Gardner lands. His ring allows him to understand them. Well, in the preliminary story, you find out that the Green Lantern's rings have all quit working. The rings don't work anymore because something happened. We don't know what happened. So Guy Gardner is talking to these two people, and then all of a sudden the ring stops. He crashes through. Yes. So then he comes out They can't understand. He's yelling at them because he's got a temper anyway. And then it's like, fast forward a year.
Oh,
And
shoot. He's been there a year?
yes, and Guy Gardner's
Shoot.
starting to learn their language. It's really bad. Like
Oh,
doesn't get all
no.
their
Like a
language right.
child.
Yes,
Like
but
a.
they think he's a prophet.
Oh, no.
So then it's like
Oh, no.
fast forward 5 years, and then people are getting along. People are
Aw.
because of him, and then which is hilarious because he's not that way. Then it's fast forward 25 years, and basically there is peace throughout the entire planet because he has garnered peace between these two people, and they're like, listen, man, you can't be you know, if it ever comes out to find out you're a false prophet, this could be really bad. And he's like, well, blah, blah, blah. So at the end, another character arrives, and his name is Lobo, which
I
is
know
like
of Lobo.
Lobo is crazy,
Yeah.
bonkers. Yes.
Oh, no.
And that's how the story ends, with Lobo ending going, what? You didn't call me Guy, or something like that. And the guy's like, oh no. But that's the end of the story. It's really cute and fun, and how it's redeeming for Guy Gardner. So
That's
yeah.
sweet.
So if you're going to pick one of these up, pick up Green Lantern. So
Funny.
a couple more here.
Okay.
Gwenom versus Carnage. So
Wait, whoa, pause.
yes,
Gwenom
it's
versus
Gwen
as
Stacy.
Venom.
Yeah, because this is the big thing going on now. The King in Black. We talked about it last week.
Gwenom. I'm just yes, we did
know.
talk. I know exactly what it was. I just needed to pause so we could all collectively experience the word that is Gwenom.
Yeah, that is funny.
That is
So
all.
Gwen Stacy gets combined with Venom, and she's trying to save Mary Jane. Mary Jane's fallen like Gwen Stacy did. You think she's gonna die, but what happens is Carnage combines with Mary Jane. So the evil, now it's going to be Gwen Stacy as Venom versus
Lady
Mary
Battle.
Jane as Carnage
Lady
at
Battle.
the end. So that was a complete giveaway at the last issue. Sorry, guys, but it is well worth picking up this issue.
Lady Battle. Yes. Okay.
Another
Question.
go.
Is it Spider Gwen or is it just Gwen?
It's Spider Gwen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm here.
They're bringing in all the
stand.
Spider-Man people for this King in Black crossover event, which has actually been pretty good. I think I talked about Venom last week.
You did.
Eddie Brock. So
Yeah.
there's also a book out called Origins. It's by Boom Studios, and currently are on issue 3 of 6. And this is about a sentient artificial being who goes and finds the DNA of the creator,
Okay.
and then basically creates the child. What happened is, you come to find out that ages and ages and ages ago, this creator created something with artificial intelligence, and it basically wiped out the planet, except for robots and plants. So like, it's like circuitry inside the plants and everything. So she's bringing him back to try to fix the problem that he did.
Okay. There is a YA novel called Origin.
Is that like this?
It's not exactly. I read that. This book came out in 2012, and so I read it when I was.
Because I think this is part of something that I don't know, either a video game or a.
Who does it say? Like it's based on something? Like on like in
No,
the
but it
first.
has 7 million creators, which makes me think it's a video game.
Corey part of it? I'm gonna Google this.
No,
I'm gonna do it on my phone.
It's created by Aresh Amil, Lee Krieger, and Joshua Oxford.
Origins.
So no, this person has
comic.
nothing to do with it.
Because we've mentioned this before, and I remember thinking,
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing about this issue is they are now on the run from the everything creation, basically, and they stumble upon a hovel or a place where robots live that were called valets. They were robots made to help humans and do things for humans. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And Hannah just showed me a picture. And so this is a group of robots that have been around with no one to serve, and now they have a human.
Oh no.
And at the very end, the place explodes, and you can see the other sentient robotic life forms are coming in, and it reminded me of iRobot.
With all of the, oh, maybe I should watch that today.
Because
I
I was
have that
thinking,
film.
I mean, we don't know what's going to happen because that's how the issue ends. But I think you've got all these robots who want to serve and help this guy, and these other robots who want to kill him. And I think it's going to be, you know how like at the episode in Lake Michigan where the canisters open up and they're trying
And
to,
they're all like,
they're all being wiped out by
the
the bad
little
robots.
ones are protecting
Yes.
the human from
Yeah.
the bad ones, and
Yep.
Vicky.
Oh, Vicky. Yeah.
Vicky.
Oh, well.
What a turd.
Yeah. Okay, I got two more I want to hit really quick.
Okay, yeah.
And it is Firepower, which is like a family ninja book. Written by Robert Kirkman, the guy who writes and created The Walking Dead. This is about a guy who was adopted. He is of Asian descent. He was adopted, and then when he got to be 17, he decided to go find out where his family was from, and he ended up learning martial arts and going up to the teachers and learning all this
Interesting.
stuff. And you come to find out that there's like the Scorched Earth clan, and that there's a dragon that's supposed to destroy the world, and it's supposed to be protected. And he gets like his clan up there is destroyed, or they have a battle, and he has a falling out, and he moves. He comes back to America, gets married, has children,
Okay.
and now
He a
they've come
ninja.
back for him. They're come back for him.
No.
But
They
he
always
and
come
his
back when they have
he and
kids.
his wife had been training their children, which are like 14, 10,
We
something
know.
like that.
Get out of our house.
And I think it has a great family vibe about it.
I love
Even though-
that.
I know they're on issue 7, and actually, if you're going to pick this up,
Yay.
I suggest picking up. There's a trade that came out, a prequel. You should read it before you pick up any of the issues because
Okay.
it makes so much better sense.
So read the prequel before reading this. Do you know how long the issues are going to be? Like, what if we have pals who are like, you know what, I'm just
I
going to
have
wait
a
for the trade paperback to come
Feeling
out.
this is going to continue. I don't
You
think
don't-
this will stop.
Okay.
I mean, he took Walking Dead to 190 something issues. So, but I'm sure they'll put out, trades as he goes. What? Listen, I was going to talk.
Your salty little comment about.
Yeah. Well, he just up and quit it though.
I just thought it was funny.
I was going to talk about a book called American Ronin, which is
American
by
Ronin.
AWA. Do you remember what that stood for? Remember we had this talk. It's the same people that put out Grindel, Kentucky.
I don't remember. No, artists,
Writers and artisans. Artists, writers, and artisans or
Yes,
something.
it's a collective.
It is. So they're on issue 3. Actually, issue 4 comes out Wednesday, which is my birthday. And
Happy early birthday, Dad.
I did put on Facebook a list of all the Fantastic Four issues that I need in case anybody would like to get me something for my birthday. Issue 1 through 10, especially. So, American Ronin is an interesting. I'm liking it. Now, it is immature. It's not as bad as some. But this is about the world is basically run like it is run here. We think that politicians are in charge when in fact it's corporations. And we think we are in charge, whatever. Anyway, so this guy used to work for a corporation, and like if they needed somebody killed or whatever, he took care of this. He has an interesting ability. If he gets your DNA, he mixes it in a solution, injects it into himself. He has the power of empathy. He begins to feel everything that person felt.
Ooh, hate it.
Because then he gets inside your head.
Ooh.
Because he knows what you're going to do and how you feel and everything like that.
I hate it.
So that's his power.
But how does he get rid of that?
How does
he just always feel like...
No, it wears down. It wears off after a while.
Gotcha. So like the blood gets out of his system or something.
Like there's a guy in here who's like super powerful, but he contemplates jumping out of a building basically. And because, he feels trapped, whatever. Yeah. Check on your friends. But anyway, so it tackles some serious issues, but it is a shoot 'em up, bang 'em up, sort of like a Jason Bourne / transporter / wanted. It's an immature. Yeah. those
I
are
got all the
my pull
songs for
list.
you today, Dad.
We will post
Ro- I'm-
pics in the Facebook thing, and yeah, what? Go.
Ronin is a
Masterless
masterless
Samurai.
samurai. Okay, that's what I thought.
And if he's in a movie with Keanu Reeves, they have to stab themselves in the stomach at the very end. Wasn't that
Yep.
47 Ronin?
47 Ronin. That movie was awful.
But they did let the one kid live.
That
Right?
was for honor purposes, I believe.
For honor purposes, yes. I liked the movie. Sorry.
Was there like witches in it? Or am I
Oh,
thinking of a
wait.
different one?
I'll tell you something I was watching this week.
Okay, yeah. Tell me.
Speed was on, speaking of Keanu
I
Reeves.
love that film.
Gosh, that Dennis
Where was
Hopper
that
days.
on?
It was just, I don't know, just on a TV show. We were watching something and then it came on. And I was like, hey, here's Speed. And we watched it for just a half hot second and then turned it off.
What a good film.
Yeah. All right. You have any questions, Hannah Jo?
No.
None.
I think Origin sounds really good. I just Googled it and I think there's going to be 6 issues.
There are just 6 issues and they're on issue 3 right now.
So that
And
will
American
be...
Ronin has just 5 and they're on it. Issue 4 comes out Wednesday.
Gotcha.
So an interesting take if you want to wait. A book we talked about called Big Girls came out with issue 6. And
We
that's
didn't
the
talk
last...
about it. We never read
talked
it.
about it. Didn't we talk about it ever?
You talked about it on your pull list once and you gave them to
Right.
me to read, but I forgot to read them. And so we
Well,
just didn't read them.
Here's the deal. They're going to put out a trade. It's over for right now. And
Oh,
then
fun.
we'll ship you the trade and then we'll
Perf.
talk about them.
I love that plan.
So, but they just, it just finished last week. Big Girls, or maybe the week before. I don't know.
That's really cool.
It was okay. Yeah.
And they're not like, they're just actual large ladies. Like they're just
they're like
giants.
Like Godzilla size.
Yeah, they're just
like-
huge.
They don't look like Godzilla, but there
They're
are
big girls.
Here's a big
They're
girls
huge.
because men are monsters, which they are in the comic book, but they're really not. They're misunderstood monsters once you read into it. Once you get further along.
Okay. Well, we'll read it and
Yeah.
see what we think, Dad.
Okay,
Movie or comic?
we can do them either one.
Let's do movie because we just did all the comics.
Okay, explain what we watched.
So we watched Superman 2. This is from, shoot, Dad, 80s?
Yeah, I would
90s?
imagine. No. It's got to be
80s.
80s. Mm-hmm.
Superman
Starring
2.
Christopher Reeves, Margot Kidder, Gene Hackman, Terrence Stamp. This was 1980 on the button.
Ooh, I knew, Dad. I knew it was the 80s.
Cool thing about Superman 2 is in the opening credit scenes, they tell the entire Superman 1 movie.
You ain't gotta watch Superman 1. I was sitting there and I'm like, this is all Superman 1. What is happening? I remember the
I
first
liked
time
it,
I
though.
watched Superman. Oh, no, I'm here for it. I'm here for a prologue. That way people who don't know what's going on can still enjoy the film.
Yeah.
I'm here for that. Dad,
What?
was watching it and all I can remember about Superman 1, I remember 2 things. I remember he goes around the earth to make the earth spin backwards so that he can reverse time.
Yes.
And I remember that he basically tells Lois everything that makes him weak and is hard for him to do in an interview. I'm like,
Yes.
boy knows nothing about the press. He works for the press, but he knows nothing about what to tell the people. So Superman 2. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
So Superman 2 starts off again. We're on Krypton. Right? Krypton?
Yes.
We're on
We could
Krypton.
be-
General Zod
Mm-hmm.
and his 2 followers are put
Which-
into the Phantom Zone.
Which, if you watched The Man of Steel,
It's literally the exact same film.
it's very similar,
It's literally the exact same film.
except Superman's dad doesn't die in a tornado, which I didn't like that.
I didn't like
Anyway.
that either. I thought that was so dumb. But yeah, so they're in the Phantom Zone, and then Superman does something and then blows up a nuclear bomb in space, and apparently that's the one thing that would need to happen to allow them to
That's
exit
great.
the
I
Phantom
love
Zone.
that. Okay, that was so funny because
was-
basically he's talking to his mom.
And she was like, the only thing that
Only
would
thing
make
that
it happen is if there was a nuclear bomb that
nuclear bomb.
exploded in space. And Superman's like, oh shoot, I just did that.
That was perfect comic
I'm
bookiness.
just
I'm
like
oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that throughout the film. I'm just like, you good?
That was so funny. So yeah, they get freed and they come back to Earth. I don't think you realize Terrence Stamp.
I don't know
Um,
who he is, Dad.
so do you remember watching? He's Zod, the guy that plays
Okay.
Zod. So he's
He's
been in a
weird, man.
bunch of movies. But my favorite thing is, do you remember watching Get Smart, the movie with?
Yes. Is
He
he
is
the guy?
Siegfried. He
Is
is
he the bad guy?
Siegfried. Yes. Yes. I thought you would get a kick out of that because I didn't think you
Yay!
knew that.
I didn't. I knew
Yeah.
his face was similar. I like
Right. But
familiar
he's
to
so
me, and
young.
he did like he had facial hair in that second and Get Smart too.
Did he? I don't remember.
Yeah, he did. I remember he had a weird beard.
So, what'd you think of the movie?
I had watched it before.
Right.
I don't remember when or why I watched it. I probably saw that we had the DVD at home and was like, "What's this?" and then just watched it. I did that a lot.
I don't remember. I tell you what, were people really that mean as the dude at the diner?
I no. That
People
was
aren't like
just
that, are they?
that was just to show us the juxtaposition of his strength versus him not having strength.
Yes, I know that.
The thing about this that I just think is so silly is Lois Lane straight up jumping into Niagara Falls to prove that he's Superman. Like, no, she's too smart to do that. And then Superman giving up his powers just to
Be with the woman he loves. And then at the end, it's the magic kiss. Mwah. Oh wait, I don't remember who
and
you are.
I don't remember
Go get me a
anything,
coffee.
And I want a burger. I want a burger with all the fixins.
Is that what she says?
Yeah, she wants a burger with all the fixins. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you're crazy. She's like,
Okay.
how am I supposed to love you and know that this is who you are? And then never be with you again. Lois Lane would never. She would never.
I tell you what, one of the big stinks about that a lot of people went psycho on when The Man of Steel came out was the fact that Superman would never fight these people in the middle of Metropolis. I was like, well, he did in 1980.
I think it was that he fought them right when he knew that they existed in this film. Like when he had, but again, it's different because they had already killed
Yeah,
a
they'd
bunch of
already
people and
landed-
taken over the entire
Yes,
world when he
right.
found them and started fight.
Yeah,
But
When
previous,
they were
but
in the White House.
and Lex Luthor comes in with his hanky. Hello, I would
Yes.
like to be in charge of Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
And then him being like,
That was funny too. The fact that he and Miss Tessmacher didn't freeze to death in the hot air balloon that made it all the way from jail to the North Pole.
to the North Pole, and him and her being like, I gotta pee. She's
Yes,
like,
I told you
need
to do that before we left.
She's like, it's
What's
been 2 days.
Yeah. I'm like, what, have you been up there for 2 days? I'd be hungry and cold. But yeah, that was funny.
And then like,
I just remember the best line from that is when he says, kneel before Zod. And, but you know, I thought it was a fun little romp going back and watching it.
it's a fun movie. I think
It's silly.
I mean, Dad, it was a superhero movie that came out in the 80s.
I understand, but
Of course
people
it's
are
silly.
like, this movie is great compared to the new movies. And I'm like, they're completely different for a different time.
Yeah.
I think, and like you said, the first Superman movie is great, except when he flies around the world and makes it go backwards.
Except he literally makes time go backwards because the person he likes dies.
Well, if I could make time go backwards, the person I like dies, I would do it.
I mean,
But-
yeah.
But I don't think that's the way time works. But
But it's not how time works. I'm sitting here
not.
thinking like, how did the Earth's gravitational pull
Not
not
yank
like
everything.
die?
of course, we're
Or like
supposed to
us get
suspend
yanked out of
belief,
orbit or something like that.
Suspend belief and just enjoy the movie.
I mean,
But-
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really funny. Again, just some of the things like that his mom said, she was like, and like, this is a question I hope you would never ask. She said that twice. I'm like, there's two? There's two of them?
2 questions you
She's
hope
like,
you would never ask?
we hoped that you would never ask this question.
Oh, yeah.
And she said
Yeah.
that twice.
And how
And I
come
was
we
like,
don't get to see Ma Kent or Paul Kent? We just get to see his mom from Krypton.
yeah,
Yeah, that was crazy.
yeah.
Did
And
you?
he's
Did
just
you?
so like bumbly as Clark Kent. He's like, oh gosh, Lois, I don't. Oh, Lois, I don't
Oh
know.
golly. Oh gee.
Oh, ow,
Oh
ah,
golly.
oh, oh, I'm sorry, I tripped on myself. And did you
Yeah.
see him when he walked into the place? He literally like flipped his hat and the hat went bloop, and then like landed
Yes.
on something. And then he's like, oh
Yes.
no, I can't use my hands. And I'm like, are
I
you
think that was
good?
on purpose. I like the
It was
fact
just
that
really funny.
any 2-year-old can climb over a railing and jump into the Niagara Falls. Is that possible? Is that
I've never
even
been to the
OSHA
Niagara
compliant?
Falls,
Or is that
but
like, I don't think that's, I don't know. I have a friend lives in Rochester. I should ask him.
I'm sure that things are different at Niagara Falls in 2021 than things were
We're in 1980.
in 1980.
Yeah, well, Jim and Pam got married there. So
They did. It's true.
did they jump over?
They were at the bottom.
Oh, they were at the bottom.
They were at the
Yeah,
bottom.
with Sea Mist 4 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it was a fun movie. It is not a movie that I would just sit and just go, gosh, I got to watch this again and again. No,
No.
I'll probably give it, I don't know, 3 Krypton stones.
I mean, yeah,
Kryptonites. 3 Kryptonites.
it's a good Superman movie. I'm trying to think
It's
if
hard
I
to
had
make a Superman movie.
I like because he's just so
Super.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's hard to
he's
make
just
a movie.
he's like all powerful, is a nice person and a good man, and beats
Oh, who
everyone.
wants to see that? Who wants to see that in the world today? Our
Like,
culture doesn't like that.
no.
To see somebody get ruined. The Dark Knight. He's just gonna say, what if he said, I'm Superman? You think that would have made a
He
difference?
would never.
I know. That's
What
funny.
is the Kingdom Come Superman with the
Black S.
Black S.
Mhm.
That's who we want in 2021.
No, but
me
that
the
guy was a good guy too.
I know he was. We liked him too. But see, that's. I think that's part of it. I think it's hard for everyday people, like everyone, to be like, oh yes, I see myself in Superman, this invincible alien who can do no wrong.
Which is why Marvel is so successful, I believe, because most of their characters are generally perceived as being
Like
oh,
I
wow,
could be them.
I could be that.
They have like
person.
real life
And Stan Lee
problems.
even said that about Spider-Man. If you put the mask on, anybody can be Spider-Man. Yeah. So
Yeah.
So there you go. It was a fun movie. Superman 2. It's definitely worth a watch. Watch Superman 1, 2. It's good as well.
I mean, you don't have to.
and
You could just, if you didn't want to watch it, you could just watch Superman 2 because they tell you everything that happens before
In the
Superman
fir-
2.
in the opening scroll.
There's a
I was
prologue.
like, wait a
No,
minute.
I'm sitting here watching it.
forgotten.
I'm like, am I watching the right movie? I'm
It
sitting
is.
here drinking my G&T, knitting. Like, did I pick the right one?
You did pick the right one.
I did.
Well, speaking of Superman and being unable to kill Superman and not having any issues, we read a collected works of called The Death of Superman,
Yes.
which spanned 7 issues back in, gosh, whenever this came out, which
I'll
was
look
probably
at-
the late 80s or early 90s.
This cover and compilation copyrights 1993.
Yeah. They there were 17 million Superman titles out on the stands. Literally. There was Superman, Action Comics, Superman Man of Steel, and The Adventures of Superman.
Yeah,
So they
this
had
is Superman, Man of Steel, Justice League Superman,
Justice League.
The Adventures of Superman, Superman Action Comics, Superman, Man of Steel, and then at the very
Yes.
end, Superman.
Superman, the Superman magazine. Yeah. They and they told the story. So basically you got the story in a month and a half,
Which is fast.
absolutely better than waiting all year to get something done, and then there's a delay, and sometimes these books drag on forever, which is the issue I had with the Death Metal. I didn't get issue 7 until just this past week, and the Future State stuff came out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so you already knew what was going to happen. We
Yeah,
talked about that
so-
last podcast.
Yeah.
That
so
sucks.
So this book starts out introducing in the first issue the
A character in all green who is giant, who
Yes.
escapes from a hole in the ground for we don't know why. And
And back in the
then
90s, we didn't know either.
just like, where'd he come
Doomsday.
from? Who knows? And he's got one of his hands stuck behind his back, and then a bird lands in his hand, and he's like, "Oh, little bird, smash!"
He crushes it. Doomsday.
It goes
And the-
cheap, and it goes blork.
Okay, so
Ha
if
ha ha.
I've been stuck in a
is what he
metal
says.
crate for who knows how long, and I get one hand free and I come out, I think I'd take the rest of my crap off.
Yeah, I think I'd be like, smash, 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 and he's like, "No,
So-
I shall kill it all."
Do you realize there's a huge battle? He basically destroys the entire Justice
Entire
League.
Justice League with one of his hands tied behind his back.
Exactly. That
And then-
I love that. He beat up the Justice League.
He beat up the
with
Justice League with one hand.
Never caught that. This is from 1993. I just caught it.
I'm sitting here and he's like has one of this guy's hand, like literal heads.
That's Guy Gardner.
In his entire hand and is going crunk.
Mm-hmm.
The sounds in this man are awesome. Krakow, splank, eef,
Eve.
ba,
What does Eve
floom,
mean?
ba, kang, foom, hee hee, ah, crack.
So the funny thing is, well, not funny, but the interesting thing is that this character gets freer and freer as he goes by, and then he sees a wrestling match on a TV where we're gonna meet in Metropolis. So then he's like,
Okay, yeah, okay.
Metropolis, me
Let's go there.
Okay, and yes, and the fight ensues. There's a lot of subplots in here. There's like a group of underground monsters under the underworld.
Underlings. Oh, excuse me, the
underlings.
underworld.
Yeah.
You were right. I was wrong. I just like
There's-
lings.
There's
Underlings.
this punk who's mean to his single mom.
And she's just doing her best, man.
Doing her
Like,
best.
you don't got to
That
be
was
a
a
turd.
punk.
And she has a newborn. Like, she has a
Yeah.
lot more going on in her life than your problems.
Yes. The dude just got to sit in on a conversation, an interview with Superman. His
He's
school.
being a turd.
Yeah, I didn't much care for that kid. And then while Superman's trying to
He's like,
beat
"My
up
mom,
on
help me."
Doomsday, yes, and Superman does what he does. He goes and he
He
helps
goes and
people.
saves her.
Interesting thing was in this book, Superman tried to move the fight away to
Yeah.
a wooded area where there no
Mhm.
people were. Just happened to be the Cadmus Project.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I don't either. However, I'm sure there are people who are going to come out and say, "What do you don't know what that is?"
Ugh.
Interesting thing
Dad,
about
do you know how much I doubt that that's going to happen?
yeah, because we our 6 viewers aren't going to.
I so doubt that the 6 people who listen to this podcast are going to be like, Todd, Hannah, you don't even know what you're talking about. Is this guy a Ninja Turtle?
Who
Look at him.
no, he's not a
Look
Ninja
at him.
Turtle.
He's
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but he
Is he
doesn't
pretending
have a
to be
Turtle.
a Ninja Turtle?
No.
Okay, I have a question. So Doomsday like punches Supergirl, and then she falls down. Her face like melts and turns
Okay.
into a weird alien.
This is not Supergirl. This is an alien who takes on the belief that she is Supergirl. Yeah, and she's shacking up with Lex Luthor as like
I saw that.
as a
I
young
was like,
Lex Luthor.
I was like, what the heck is going on? He like punches her face melts, and then she is like laying on here it is. He punches her,
Yes,
her
and her
face,
face melts.
melts.
Yes.
And then the next panel, you see this weird little purple guy.
Yes. She is an
With the
alien. She
eyeballs
is a
popping out.
shapeshifter. She is a shapeshifter that has a lot of the strength of Supergirl, and takes on the moniker of Supergirl. She's not really Supergirl. She actually, for a time, lived with Ma and Paul Kent. And actually, after Superman dies, she takes over the persona of Clark so that people
Really?
won't think that Clark and Superman were the same person
Interesting.
for a couple issues. And
Look at his
Project
neck.
Cat. Yeah,
Look at Superman's neck.
that's wonky. That is bad, isn't it? Hannah's showing me pictures. Interesting enough, after this happens, after the death of Superman, then there is Funeral for a Friend, which lasts about 8 issues. Then there is the Reign of Superman. 4 people show up saying they're Superman. And one of them is a clone of Superman, which was created by Project Cadmus. And the alien who plays Supergirl has a real good talk and about mentoring him
Hmm.
about being a Superman and blah blah blah. So I don't know if you noticed
Interesting.
this. Interesting thing about this book that I just noticed this
What?
time reading it.
Tell me.
So there were 7 books written in this series.
Yes.
So if you start with the fourth to last and you read it, there are 4 panels per page. So 4 pictures on
No
each
way.
page. The third book from last,
There's 3.
the second book from last, 2, and the last book is 1 picture per page. Oh, that was a neat way to do a countdown.
That's bonkers.
And I never caught it until
That's
just
Dad, that's
just this
really
week.
cool.
Yeah.
I wondered why the pictures got really, really big. Like, I want to know who's the person who's drawing on his chest hairs individually.
Well, Dan Jurgens, who created a lot of this, did a lot of the art for the ones that he did. Who's going to draw his chest hairs? That's great because they do it.
No, look at him.
Yeah,
There he is.
Dan Jurgens. Dan Jurgens does word and pictures with finishing art by Brett Breeding, and
I wonder if it was Brett. Sorry if
or
you did
Dan.
that, Brett.
I bet you Dan was like, I ain't drawing chest hairs. Brett can do that.
The thing that killed
Frickin'
me
Brett.
is that Lois is like, oh no, my love. And it's just sitting there and is just like crying and was just like, oh no, everything,
Okay,
I love you.
here's 2 creatures that are destroying everything around them, and Lois Lane is a foot and a half away from
She's
the
like,
action.
I just need to make sure that he's okay.
And Jimmy Olsen's like
Is
2
there with
feet
a
away
camera?
taking pictures.
He's just like click, 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 click. And then
Listen,
they're like,
that would be
they
everybody
hit each
now.
other. They hit each other so hard that the glass,
But the glass
broke.
breaks.
I'm
out
like,
of
yeah,
the-
but his camera works. Okay.
it's a super camera.
And the thing, the literal, the last image is Superman just standing there,
Not
dead.
standing, lying there
laying
dead.
there
and
dead.
Lois
Lois is straight up weeping, and Jimmy's just got his camera,
taking a picture.
taking a picture of Lois, the back of her head too. Like that's not going to be a good image. Go around the other side.
He should be in the front. We
Why
can
is
see the
he-
back of Jimmy.
Why is he taking a picture of the back of her head?
It's a terrible.
That's
no
an
wonder.
awful image.
Way to go, Jimmy. Oh gosh.
You stayed there to do your job and you did it bad.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. It was. I'm joking, but it was. Sorry.
I hadn't thought about that.
It's just
That's a
stuff
good
like
idea.
that. I'm just like, what are you doing? I'm like, he's just let her just cry.
Okay, in the
But
90s,
no, we got to take
were,
a picture of her.
We were doing anything to sell comic books. They were selling comic books. Well, they were putting comic books out the wazoo. I mean, if they've got 4 different Superman titles, you know something's wrong because nobody's buying Superman titles. Very few, anyway. So,
Ugh.
this book came out in like
93.
multiple printings. Like I have it in a black bag with the black, and then you open it, there is a black armband that you could wear for the death of Superman. This made, like
Bukus of
Newsweek and
money.
Time and all the news. It was all over the news and everything, the death of Superman.
So for our friends who don't read comic books and they're listening and they're like, you're talking about Doomsday and the death of Superman. This sounds like the second Man of Steel movie.
Very similar. They took pieces of that movie and put it in there. And actually, once you come to find out the origin of Doomsday, so the first
Did
issue,
they talk about it? Because I can't.
Not
I
at
missed
all.
it.
They didn't talk about it at all. They
Okay,
created
because
a
I was
creature.
mad about that.
I mean, so poor Louise Simonson, who wrote the first issue, she has to introduce a character who doesn't speak, no one knows who he is, never
Did a great
seen him.
job.
Yes.
Did a
That's
great
what-
job.
I'm like, after about 7 issues, we're like, this guy's bad. And if you notice, like Doomsday starts getting bigger on each the name Doomsday gets bigger. And Booster Gold's the one who calls him Doomsday, and it's not his name. He
It's
just says
what
it's
they're
like
calling him. It's like
Doomsday is
Doomsday
here. Yeah.
And so they just call him
Okay.
Doomsday.
So you ready for the origin of Doomsday?
Yes. Is this going to be lame?
It's pretty mean.
Okay.
Doomsday is a prehistoric Kryptonian.
Oh no.
So what happened was this one world picked a Kryptonian child and would subject it to terrible things. It would die.
And
Then
they
they
brought
would
it
take
back to
that DNA
life.
and bring it back to life. It would die, bring it back to life to make it to like do souped up evolution.
Oh no.
So that's why it hates life, anything living. So Doomsday would hate anything living. And he has a
Crushed him. The first thing he did was crush a birdie.
predisposition to hating anything from Krypton,
Oh, which
which
is
is why
Superman. Oh,
Superman. But you don't know that. And you never find this out until, I don't know, a couple years
years
down the
later.
road when they do this thing called Hunter Prey, which I have. And they give you basically the origin of Doomsday. So what happens is they kill Doomsday and they put him in this coffin, this metal container, but he is so evil they won't allow him to be buried on their planet. So they shoot it
Ship
off
it
into
to
space.
Earth.
It lands in Earth. Who knows? 80 bazillion years ago, 200,000 years ago, whatever. And he just wakes up in 1993 and kills a bird. Yeah. So I like the in this. I mean, when I read this when it came out, and I liked the mystery of
Yeah.
Doomsday. I'm like, who is this guy?
It was real. The way, like what you said, is that they had to introduce a big bad character, get us to be afraid of him, let us know that they're all powerful and is completely evil, without us seeing the creature's face
Yeah, you don't even see the whole face till about the end.
until literally like the second to last. I was gonna
Mhm.
say episode issue,
Mhm.
and make us fear him
Yeah,
without words and without seeing his face. And they do it's an excellent job.
yeah.
Like it's a creepy guy in a green suit with red like pop
He has
bottle.
bones. He has bones sticking out all over. A
Mhm.
lot like the character from
Mhm. Yeah.
the Dawn of Justice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this book would have a better staying power if the characters in the Justice League,
We knew
when
who
this
they
was
were.
written, if you knew who they were. Because a lot of these characters in the Justice League, I bet you didn't know any of
I
them.
had never heard of them before in my life. I straight up thought
Yeah,
that they were like, "Oh, we're going to talk about these people in the Justice League who nobody cares about so we can kill them all."
they didn't kill him.
They didn't. They're
Although they
all
got
alive
beat
still.
up, they're beat
But
up pretty
I
bad.
literally thought, I'm like, they just chose Randy
Mhm.
Justice League people so that they would all die and no one would care.
This is the Justice League that came back out of. We mentioned it when I talked about Maxwell Lord being in Justice League issue #1. This was like after a thing called Legends, where they redefined a lot of the origins and they created a new
Yes.
Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
So Booster Gold is in this, and the Blue Beetle,
Mm-hmm.
and Guy Gardner, which is probably the three most well known of all of them. Uh, but you still don't know who they are.
I don't know who they are. We got a green lady and we got a blue lady.
Fire and Ice. It's Fire and Ice. And then there's Maxima. And then there's Bloodwind. I think. Isn't that who that guy was? And Guy Gardner's not even a Green Lantern anymore. They took his power. They took his ring from him. So I don't even know what he's using. But yeah, so I think if I would say this is the C team, the Justice League C team. This isn't
It was
even a
just
B
weird.
team.
I literally was just like, I don't know who any of these people are. I don't care.
You don't care. Yeah.
I was just,
But
yeah. I mean,
I'm here
but
to tell you that Blue Beetle and Booster Gold are some of my faves.
really,
Mhm.
they seemed interesting. Like I enjoyed reading it.
And
I'd read it
actually,
before, I
Booster
think.
Gold was created by by Dan Jurgens, the guy who wrote and
That's
drew.
fun.
Yeah, so Booster Gold was created by him.
Oh, so he
Um,
probably was like, I want to use my guy.
I don't know. He was
I mean,
already
I
a part of
would.
he was
If
already a part of the Justice League.
I
So
created a character and then they were like, "Hey, write this
mhm,
comic book," I'd be like, "Okay, my character's gonna be in it."
there you go.
You know what I
So
mean?
what'd you think about it?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was
You
very
could,
interesting. It's again something that I'm noticing about older comic books is that there's a lot more dialogue
yes.
and people are a lot kinder.
And their hair's bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. kinder. That makes sense. They're not as dark yet.
They're not like,
Um,
they don't curse and they're like, help me. And they're like,
mhm.
but I want to go after him. But he needs a hospital. You're right. He needs a hospital. We'll go after him later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Well,
that kind of
that's an
thing.
interesting thought. Yeah. This you could probably pick up this trade at like Half Price Books or at a place like that, fairly inexpensive.
It's
Um,
when you purchased it, it was $5.
yeah, but who knows when I purchased this? I've got two of them, so I'm sure you could get it for $5 or less.
Mine says five
Especially,
bucks.
I bet you could get it at Half Price Books
Mm-hmm.
for,
Pretty easy. Easy
pretty
peasy, lemon
easy.
squeezy.
It's a good read, and
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I actually have a hardback novel, The Death of Superman, written by Roger Stern, which is one of the guys who wrote some on this.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and I also have The Death of a Funeral, The Death of a Friend, The Funeral of a Friend, and The Reign of Superman, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Fun fact, one of the Superman comes back, says he's the real Superman, but he's half Superman, half cyborg. And he straps Doomsday onto an asteroid and launches him into space to where he will never hit another living planet again. And as he's flying through space, he goes, his eyes open because he's not dead. Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I didn't think he was actually dead.
Yeah. And we know Superman's not dead either.
Yes, because he comes
Because
back
of the
to life.
movie. Yeah. But in the movie, they spark him with the mother box. And in
With
the
the
comic book,
Livinator.
he just needs sunlight. He's a
Sunshine.
battery. He's a battery.
Just needs sunshine.
On my shoulder makes me happy.
They hinted that at the end of the second Man of Steel movie. They hint that he needs sun.
Yes.
That he's not dead or something because the ground like kind of does like the quiver.
Yes. Yeah. The rocks come up.
Yeah. Just like how they hint that Magneto didn't actually lose his powers at the end of the last X-Men movie.
Because he just does a
Because
little
he
thing.
goes-
The
little
chess
thing
piece
goes-
moves. Yeah.
Little chess piece goes, Merit.
Well, that's all I
those
got.
X-Men movies are so good.
Maybe we should watch an X-Men movie for next time.
Down.
So, the Superman
enjoyed
movie
it.
is okay for middle school kids and up.
Yes.
The comic book is basically all the comic books I read were pretty good, except for American Ronin, I would say was adult. Yeah, the
What about Death of Superman middle school?
yeah, easy. Yeah, I think they could read that.
Yeah.
Not bad. So,
And like the blood in it is clearly like you can tell that it's supposed to be blood, but it's not like red.
well, here's the deal. It's Superman. He don't die. Nobody dies in it. Well, I take that back. Some people do. Like he's like got some dude's head in his hand, and I'm like,
And he goes, "Gunk."
crunk. Yeah. So
The sound of go through and like read the sound effects on this.
the
Because there's
onomatopoeia.
some rhyme onomatopoeias in this. Remember that one time you dressed up like
I know as a
as the
character
Joker?
from. Oh yes, I do remember that.
you dressed up as the Joker
I do remember.
and chased around Mr. Chris.
I remember that.
The
dressed
only
as the
reason that
Joker.
I remember that in this situation is because they had like those like sound effects that they put up on the screen so you all were running around and someone would
Yes.
just say the sound effects, someone would just go
My
smack.
friend Chris was dressed as
Crack.
Batman. Yes, that was
Sploosh.
hilarious.
Like funny little sound effect words.
Yep, funny sound effect words. So anyway, but today I'm dressed as Data from Star Trek. So
You are. We just need to get you some 3 pins on the side
BTW,
and a Star
I
Wars
am
Trek pin.
a Star Wars.
I said Star Trek. Star Trek insignia.
We love Star Wars and Star Trek. We don't, but I think Star Trek is better storytelling. Anyway,
Head nod.
I was going to say something. I've been unable to get myself to finish watching the episode that's on currently of Star Trek Discovery in season 1. It makes me so uncomfortable. I can't watch it.
What's happening?
Well, they're in like an alternate universe where they're all evil, which they've done on the original Star Trek before, but it just makes me uncomfortable. I just won't I've quit watching it because of that. So
Could you just skip that episode?
I don't know. Who knows? I can't do it.
I bet. Yeah, you can. You can choose to
can.
skip an episode. I skipped the entire first season of Star Trek Next Gen. That season's weird, man.
You said it. Hey, don't talk bad about my
Data doesn't even do that. Dad is
I'm
doing like
making
the robot, and he's not. He doesn't
I will
do
not
that.
use conjunctions. any more. I will not say won't.
Oh, you just did,
There you
Dad.
go. I know.
She's the when he makes his daughter, and then she starts.
Do you know
feel...
who the girl that plays his daughter is?
No, I have no idea who she is.
She's the mom from like either Even Stevens
No way.
or the Hillary Duff show. Yes.
No way.
I'm almost 100% sure of that.
That's bonkers.
So anyway, let's wrap it up.
We've gone on for a long
We've gone off the rails. Let's say
Okay.
it's over, guys. Listen, thank you for listening in.
Yes.
That's all I got.
Oh, okay. I'll do end roll. I thought you were going to say something else, and I was just like, okay, Dad, keep going. End roll. Our lovely art is created by Nathan Dean Turner. Thanks for doing that for us, bud. He made it in Microsoft Paint. Our research for the news is done primarily by Todd R. Turner. Thank you, R. Todd Turner.
Hilarious.
LOL at me. Thank you for that, my dear Dad. I edit our podcast. We are very thankful for you listening in to us, sweet friends. Thank you so much for taking your finite time to spend some time with us. We're thankful for you.
Yes, we
have a great whatever
Rest-
time of day it
whatever.
is for you.
Yeah.
And we will
Catch you later, Gators.
be in your headphones another time.
Or your eyeballs, depending on what source of media you want to watch us or listen on.
Indeedy do.
And now that we've discovered how to do it. All right. Well,
Okay.
peace out.
Bye, friends.
Bye, friends. Bye-bye.
I'm going to turn
We're
us off.
still live on
lives.
Facebook.
I'm going to turn that off too. Bye, Facebook friends.
And